Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Esther Ephraim. So in one of my previous video, how to effectively market on WhatsApp, I did mention a friend who does the job seamlessly. She's good at it and she's here to tell us how she has managed to amass enough patronage using WhatsApp.
Hello everyone, shout out to Nesta for giving me this opportunity to feature on her platform. I do not take it lightly. Thank you. My name is Gladys, the scent vendor she mentioned in her previous video. And I'm actually thankful for that because, like she said, it's beautiful when you're able to identify your strengths and invest in it, and at the same time identify your weaknesses and improve on them. In a world today where content creation and businesses, both offline and online, is run by videos, advertisements, people don't really pay attention to reading anymore. They just want to see pictures and things that catch their attention. So this would be a very powerful tool for me. Pinpointing my house or how I got into the business, I think the first one would be interest. My natural interest in things that smell nice. The second one was curiosity. How do they come about these fragrances? Why do certain fragrances last longer than others? Is it the more expensive they are, the longer they would last? Or is it the more expensive they are, the more beautiful they would smell? So I was curious and I started making research. It's not now that we have so many fragrances and so many companies that are selling perfumes and it's everywhere. Back then it wasn't like that. It's either you have a designer perfume or you're using a very, very not designer perfume. So that was it. I was on a quest to discover fragrances. Now the third one was the fact that people gatekeep fragrances. When I say gatekeep now, they don't share. It's a very common thing among ladies. I think generally among people, when they are using something beautiful, something you love, and you ask them, they don't want to share. Or they lie to you, or they don't want to share what they are using. So I was angry. I'm like, why are you hiding it? I understand. It's a natural thing. You don't want everybody to smell the same way you're smelling. You want to be outstanding here. You want it to be your character. That's fine. But I was angry. I'm like, what's the big deal? So the first one was interest. Second one was curiosity, to search for long-lasting fragrances, and the third one was to beat these people that gatekeep fragrances, to share. So I ran into this fragrance. It's called Amphilospora. I was so excited. There were many of them there. I was so excited, and they were quite affordable back then. That's like I think a year ago. About a year ago. They were very affordable, and I was super excited. I couldn't wait to share. So I got back home, I hopped on my bed and I picked up my phone. I remember I wrote, guys, come closer. I have something to share. Come closer.
Good job, Gladys. I can't help but to smile. You say I wanted to share. Anyways, I want to ask, why WhatsApp?
Okay, personally to me, why I decided to market on WhatsApp, I think that's the only social media handle that I'm very conversant with and I'm very comfortable with. It was just about me having a conversation with my friends, basically sharing my knowledge with my friends. Like I said, it has always not really been about business for me. But I've seen it's something that, first of all, I'm passionate about, and it's bringing back good returns.
So tell us, how do you now market your product on WhatsApp?
So I started writing. How did I write? Generally in business or in any advertisement, the first few lines is what you use to capture your audience. She talked about building profile. Comes back to profile building. I'm one person that I don't post anyhow on my status. If I post something on my status, I'm most likely going to be the only person on your contact or on your list that has that particular post. I don't do trending stuff except it's very important. I don't do trending stuff. I don't share memes like that. I'm not saying it's bad, it's just my person. I'm just more of a lifestyle person, old vintage stuff, classics. I don't do so. I have friends who tell me, I don't have to look up to see your name before I know it is your post. The moment your post comes up, it is only you that can post this kind of a thing. And so that way, I have been able to stand out. My status stands out to certain people, not everyone of course, to certain people. I have a friend that said whenever she sees my name, she's already rushing to check what did Bella post today. So that way, first of all, I've been able to capture the audience. They know that if I go to her status, I'll learn something new. I ask myself questions before I post anything. Is it relevant? Is it educating? Is it enlightening? Is it entertaining? So you have to capture people's interests. So when I started writing, I didn't just come. There's something people do. And in this era of TikTok, perfumes everywhere, you see a perfume vendor come online and do this. Okay, the top note is patchouli and cinnamon. Let's let it dry down a bit. Middle note, I can perceive some blackberry. And after 15 minutes, I can tell you that the tonkan bean is very, very loud. It's a very dynamic scent. I can pick up the tonkan bean. And in my mind, I'm like, really? Tonkan bean? I am in the perfume world. I know a lot about perfumes, but to be very honest, I don't know what a tonkan bean is. Come to talk of how it smells. So now the first thing that I do when I'm talking about scents, I'm not discrediting anyone. If they are to describe perfumes like that in a place where they are perfumers, people who produce perfumes, that is the appropriate thing to say. They would know what you're talking about. But understanding your audience, these are people that just want to smell nice, they don't even know anything about perfumes. You have to be as relative as possible. So if I'm describing a fragrance, I would describe it with things that I know you already know how they smell. And I'm going to construct my tenses or my sentences in such a way that you would enjoy reading it. So this leads me to how I run the business. I will just go look for a picture, a very beautiful, clean picture of that fragrance, post it and post a write-up. Now, coming from a place of passion, I do it naturally. Number one, I'm a writer. Aside from perfumes, I write. I'm a reader. I'm a heavy reader. So when I say writing is my strength, I have been exposed to words. I know how to use words. Then I'm a teacher. I know how to teach. I know how to break things down. So putting all of this together now, being interesting too. Yes, like I said, you have to be interesting. Putting all of this together, I do it in such a way that anybody who reads it would understand, can relate, and would enjoy the whole thing. Now, sometimes, like she said, I don't even post any fragrance. I just talk about fragrances. Now, if I have anybody who is a constant follower or an ardent follower of my posts, the person must have known one or two about perfumes. I can decide to come today and talk about why it's called oud. Why they say this is oud, like this one is called vintage oud. Why is it called oud? I will come and talk about it. It's made from wood, from the bark of trees, and they're very strong fragrances. I can come and start talking like that and everything. Now that is the regular English way of talking. But if I want to captivate my crowd or my audience, the way I describe oud personally, I will tell you oud is that boss lady with an attitude. Like if she walks into a room, you don't have any other option than to look at her. She grabs your attention. She snatches your attention from you. She does not seek your opinion. Ouds are very powerful fragrances. They go before you, they stay back after you've gone, and they last really long. That's oud. Now, they are floral scents. I can decide to talk about floral scents. And for everybody has an affinity for a particular kind of scent. So when it comes to recommendations like that, people will chat me, okay, what can you recommend to me? First of all, the first thing I consider is your personality. Are you a loud person? Are you a quiet person? Are you an introvert, an extrovert? Are you calm? Are you crazy? It's not a sure way of knowing what the person would like, but that will be the first thing I consider. And when I look at that, I can come up with several fragrances regarding your personality. Now, the second question I ask you, or the second thing I do is to ask you about your scent history. Most people don't even know their scent history. They can't even remember the last fragrance they used. Now, some of them do, and from there I can build. So it was more of recommendations.
Thank you so much, Gladys. And that is it. Noticing your traits and aptitudes and making positive use of it to influence your business on WhatsApp cannot be overemphasized. I'm Esther Ephraim.